Yep. Oh, we got 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Ooh, my battery's low.
I know you have nothing else to do, but did you happen to look into those the cards with batteries?
Yeah.
Nothing in a hurry, because I don't think it goes up snow miles. but-
Yeah. No, I have no idea. Yeah. That's on my list of stuff.
Because I think more
Somebody else.
people might have been interested.
Somebody else is-
Yeah.
Feasible to sell.
Yeah, because somebody else came this week. So.
Becky, okay, not Dick. Hello.
You, Ellen, did you just print this part?
Yes, Dana.
That's it. That's
All
all
right.
I do.
That's,
Excellent. I used to have it, but I must have cleaned the file.
Take the touch.
Chuck.
They simplified it. So I simplified it for you.
Thank you. So we need simple.
Simple goes a long way.
Just to meet up.
You're good to go whenever.
All right. 5 o'clock. I have to read. This is to formally advise that is required by General Ledger, is that it? Chapter 30A, Section 18 through 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, as extended by special legislation dated July 16, 2022, the Golf Enterprise Committee is holding a public meeting on today, February 9th, 2023 at 5 p.m. at the Bayberry Hills Golf Course Maintenance Facility. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access via Zoom. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is that it?
Well, that's it.
Okay, I guess I have to, and I'm assuming I have to do this every time. We have 5,
Yeah.
so that's a quorum.
Yeah.
We'll verify a quorum.
Oh, we gotta do a
Roll call?
roll call. Do you want to do it?
Go right ahead.
Well, we have to have a roll call on that.
On what?
Because it's a Zoom meeting, you have to roll call in.
Okay.
Okay. Ted, are you here?
I'm here.
Good.
Jay's here.
Jane's here.
Andrew's here.
Ellen's here. Doreen, are you here?
I'm here.
All right.
There you go.
It's a little warmer where she's at.
Yeah, it's that stucco that gave it away.
It did.
Sorry.
Rain, sunshine.
She's wearing long sleeves though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And fleece.
Yeah.
okay.
All right.
She's trying to trick us. She's actually sweating under there.
So just as a little input, I got a message from Dick Donovan as far as the only feedback I got on the minutes.
I'm
Last-
sorry. I read them, but I should have read back.
Did you have any? No, it's okay.
No, it's good.
Unless you, if you don't have anything, I'm assuming nobody had anything, but Dick did ask me to look into whether or not at the start of the meeting, we have to put all that information that you read. And I was told no. I asked at town hall, so that's not in there. I just wanted to make sure that was clear. And then the date of, I accidentally put down the next meeting as being 10/10/23 instead of 1/10/23, the past meeting. So I have corrected those 2 things. And other than that, if everybody's comfortable with the minutes,
Anybody wish to make a motion to
I'll make a
approve?
motion to approve the minutes.
Second,
All right. Ted,
Yes.
Jay,
yes,
Doreen,
Yes.
Andy,
yes,
Ellen, votes yes. Done. All right.
I'll send them off to Anita.
Well, we have no comments, but I did get a public question that I said I would bring up at the meeting from Jim McGovern, which we were discussing earlier. And he basically said that when he goes to his reservations, I click on it and give my name and my time. Any chances they change it, so when I click, it gives me my name and who I'm playing with at that time. We've all heard that complaint a number of times. I responded to him with that I would pass it on and let him know that
Yeah.
we had in fact discussed it at the previous meeting and explained to him what we have been told CPS might do when they make an upgrade,
Yeah.
which is to put the name, making names visible when you go in to make a tea time. And I also explained that the tea sheet is not something that's available. That was in Chelsea. Okay. He even said it caused him to miss Chelsea.
Only that.
The only thing about Chelsea that worked was, was a lottery system anyway, but.
Well, I had to
that's
remind him too that his was excessively complained about Chelsea because of the points.
I heard them all the time complaining about Chelsea.
So-
I was,
Oh, maybe you forgot about that.
yeah.
So
And I also pointed out that there have been some problems with Chelsea because people had used the information I just said inappropriately. Because one of the guys he plays with is one of the
be
ones that
careful what I'm
made the
reporting.
biggest stink. Okay.
So we have responded.
So we have responded and he
And thanks.
responded back positively. He was happy to hear what, that some attempt was being made.
And he seemed good when I spoke to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was happy about it.
All right,
And it's been talked about at almost every single meeting.
yes. And have we heard anything? Have we heard anything from our providers that there's any date for doing this? Then,
Not yet. They've had some changes up top.
Oh.
New leadership.
okay.
We're also having issues with what they just updated us to,
So,
so.
It's not working. They're gonna
it's
roll back.
working, but it doesn't work with current policies are necessarily, so. Meaning days a week and
It's not working for us, so they
Ah.
either fix it or move on.
We're
It's very
working on
simple.
it.
We're the customer, they don't wanna deal with that, then we move on. I'm not playing games with anybody anymore. We got rid of the website because they're playing games, we got a new website, we will get rid of but they're gonna continue to play games. Very simple.
Excellent.
Were they the websites? They were,
That's one to one marketing that we.
yeah, that's what I thought.
We drop.
Yeah.
So, the new one's in motion, and hopefully it's live in a couple weeks. I mean, they're a profit partner, and we'll hopefully corporate fixes their issues in the next week or two, and if not, we move on. I mean,
Do I need to know this?
sounds like it.
Okay.
Are the problems with it things that we would see when we're trying to make a tea time?
Yeah, because it's our 2 and 3 day thing, they keep, every time they get an update, that goes out, and then they say we can't do that, and then we have to scream and holler and yell, because this is our policy, we've had this from day one, and somehow they fix it. But they know our policies, they know how we run, and they will either do it or we will just go somewhere else.
Yeah,
It's not worth fighting over.
you don't have that, we're in real trouble.
the current policy is now that it's not working is unless you do 2 to 3 days, it just doesn't let you pick the days of the week you do, you know.
No,
So-
I was
Saturday, Sunday.
in the back of the house for, I spent most of my Saturday trying to rectify it, and it was either 2 days, all, or 7 days a week, or 3 days. 7 days a week. There was no option, option 3. So when I finally was able to speak with somebody, it must have been one of their updates that they don't allow you to go days of the week, it's
Oh.
just the whole week, so. I'm working on it, see.
Oh, quickly, yeah. Before
boards, April boards manually going and changing it. You guys have to go in and manually change it.
But that's doesn't make sense.
We'll rectify.
All right.
How far out is the change for the website?
About a couple of weeks. Should be hopefully live any.
I think his part of his, part of your report, you have something on that. I had asked Scott to ask Bill Scott to come talk about our capital projects, but.
Yeah, he's recovering from a battle with COVID, so he did not make it tonight, but I'll ask him again to come from March meeting.
So town meeting is in April. Right?
Yeah,
So
I'm
they-
sure you may, something like that.
Yeah, so when do we know what the date is for putting in any articles?
It's usually the end of this month, I have to submit a draft. For an article.
Yes, to get that proposal moving. So, and I did hear from a member of the finance committee that they didn't think that that was gonna be on there. So do we need to?
You talking about the link scores?
No, I'm talking about the proposal for here. For $30,000 to keep moving with our project.
Park barn. Yeah, well. Ideally, I'm trying to avoid town meeting for that situation because it doesn't really need to go to town meeting. It's exempt from all procurement things. We have money in the budget to pay for it, so why go to budget?
I thought we had to, no?
There seems to be a disconnect on how this all works. So the only reason that we, as in golf, we need to go to capital budget is if we want to use our retained earnings to pay for something. We have money within the budget, it does not need to go to capital budget.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right, so as long as we have enough.
That's a little weird.
surplus.
Because
So
Is
budget
the
for-
money that you have in the budget is actually our money in the same sense
Right.
that the retained earnings are.
Right.
It's just money from this year, not money from
I'd
last year.
rather not go to town meeting and put up little articles.
Oh, I don't.
I'm gonna say that for
yeah.
any small
no.
item, we should make sure it gets in the budget in the future. Because all it does is, we have a surplus anyway, so
So
Better to
it's
get
more
through.
of.
Makes
you know,
sense. why bother with a
I
warrant?
mean, I have a meeting tomorrow down there. If it doesn't go my way, I will put it on town because I know I can go to the voters and get it through. But usually when I say something like that, it gets through anyways. But my goal would be to keep the little stuff out of it and only bring the big stuff to use.
So is it also possible to add another line item to our standard budget?
We already have capital expenditures in our, it's at $110,000 this year. So like, for example,
But that was,
I can name a few things we bought through our own budget without having to go through the capital budget process.
okay,
We bought a grinder a couple of years ago, that was $45,000. Quoted out, done, we got the money for it. We bought 3 reels or backup reels, 2 sets of backup reels, that was 20 grand. We did that through, there's many things we've done on our end without having to go that route. So going that route is rather difficult for something that is already in the money, is already there. So the other departments have to be, they don't like have their own, they only have a certain amount of money,
They don't have reserve, well,
then they have to go and get it approved by cap. And they have to go through a list and get it done, because we have our own set of money, either which way. We don't have to go through it.
okay, so that line item in the budget, that capital improvements, it's not just what was voted on by the town, by the town. It's additional,
That's our money
okay, I thought it was,
there
It's a turn on budget.
okay,
for situations like, for example, the clubhouse is more than both articles.
okay,
So the difference is gonna come out of our budget.
okay, I thought that.
So we're
everything
like
had to
short
be
about
approved.
20 grand all in, so that will come out of the budget.
that's really only when you have to withdraw money from the reserve fund.
Yeah,
Retain.
what you wanna do is let them know that we need to use the reserve funds for these projects.
Mhm.
that's what we want to do. So, well, all these projects coming on, yeah, that's where we go to capital, get it through, have them sign off, finance, sign off, and then eventually town meeting. But that's, you know, these little things, no. You don't want, and they're gonna change their rules too, by the way, the capital is probably gonna go way up on money. That goes through,
Makes sense.
I think
That's
it's gonna be more
crazy.
like 30 or 50 before these.
What is it now?
Even talking about 10.
That's
What
ridiculous.
everything costs nowadays?
Everything's
And how
10,000.
we run, it's much easier to keep it out of there. So for like the Collins Center, for example, that's not any, that's strictly out of the budget. And that's a different pool of money. We have contracted work.
Yes,
and a
knew
whole
about
pool of
that
money
one.
from that.
Yeah,
But then we also decided to do capital expenditures and a whole pool of money from that, like when we had to bill, when we had to do the wells, that came out of the money, the capital money.
Yeah.
That was like $35,000. So we've done it plenty of times. This whole situation with having an architect is just somebody holding up the shit. So
the signing. Okay,
we will see what brings of that. But no, it does not need to go that way.
okay. I thought it had to.
This one's actually rather easy. It's exempt and you get the money.
So there should be no reason it can't be signed off. Oh, you'll let us know how that works tomorrow.
I will try to.
Thank you.
I'm not running all that down.
It's recorded, it's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's okay. It's just,
Say anything that's not true.
no.
No, that wasn't really why I said it, just.
All right, so of the capital things that projects that are already moving. We have, is anything in Bass River capital?
As far as articles,
No, just capital improvements. Most of it is just expense work, isn't it? At the time being, for the town.
well, yeah, I mean, it just depends on how you want to label it, really. Like,
Maybe we should just call this
really, we can
projects,
Pro shop over.
Yeah.
or, you know, instead of capital project, it's just projects instead of, you know what I mean? If you want to monitor the, like, the changes that are going on.
Yeah.
The traps, the walkways or whatever, bridge.
The bridge, that's a good one. Bridge would be.
Yeah,
What's
so
the
the-
bridge?
The bridge would probably be a capital item, or we'll include it in the overall plan of Bass River, one and another.
Okay,
So it'd either be a separate item. I mean, it all depends on the whole cost of the situation.
so we haven't heard any more on cost or anything.
But I gotta get the whole thing surveyed first
Oh,
to determine, that was like 20 grand. So once they do that work, then Tim can do his work. But we need to determine the wetlands. Andrew was in the other day and had mentioned that. We need to actually determine that outlet, so I went to the wetland area.
oh, good
So
idea.
we get away from
Especially
who
with
says who.
potential, rain and tide. If tide
Right.
gets down there too.
So the whole plan would be, once the bridge is there, is to concrete slabs on each side that can attach to the bridge. So if anything did happen, the bridge would actually break off. And then we would just replace the bridge, the slabs wouldn't go anywhere. That's the whole plan.
And
So
the
if you
golf
did
is
have
on
a
the bridge
situation
now.
of 1 inch, 100-year flood or whatever,
Mm.
we can just replace the bridge. Never have to deal with this whole thing again.
That's a good point, yeah. If the pillars are in the ground, you got something to work from, you don't have to worry about that whole process.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid putting anything back into it.
Mhm.
So we stay off and define the wetlands to the T of what an actual wetland is.
Mhm.
Then we can put the 2 slabs where we want them and just put the bridge.
Put the slabs outside the wetland boundary. Right.
We don't have the same wetland restrictions that you have for all building processes in this case, would we? Because sometimes there's like 50 or 70 feet or something from wetlands, or 100 feet.
Under,
Yeah, there's
100.
100 feet,
So how would you get 100?
but that's like when you're trying to
Whoa,
cut or build or whatever. This obviously It's a different thing.
Different
Put a
thing.
bridge.
That's what I
we have
wondered.
to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
trying to determine the wetland, where the best spot.
so
is.
you want to be outside this physical wetland, but you don't have to have a distance beyond the wetlands. Okay,
The other thing that I had on the agenda was, which Bill isn't here for, is more discussion on a memorial account within the budget or something. Because, I mean, people are asking, right?
Yeah.
They want to do something and we have no place to put money.
Is that like donations? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or, you know, someone dies, they want
Right.
to do a memorial, we don't
Yeah.
want, they don't want, any more benches around, so we need to have a fund that we
Mhm.
could draw from.
Yeah, I remember, I
This
just
stuff.
wanted to make sure that part of that bike,
Yeah, and the bike,
yeah.
yeah. Nobody seems to be able to give us an answer.
Possible somehow, because most
Those
people take
other-
donations.
Yes, so who do we go to figure this out?
I'll reach out to a couple people tomorrow,
Okay,
figure out where we go.
it was on my list, Bill.
Yep.
Right, I know you're gonna give us an update on what's being done at Bass River. And anything else for links other than the cart barn situation that's new since last time we met or
For which one?
any?
There's many moving parts right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Each project is its own little phase right now, so.
But we don't have anything to go to town meeting for. Is that so or not so?
There'll be a couple articles at town meeting, no matter what at all. It's a matter of how much really at this point. There'll be maybe 100,000, 50,000 one for a couple things. I don't know at this point if entire links article can get there, where we're at in the stage yet. So. The last thing we want to do is rush it. Want to make sure that we're completely covered. All of that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and that's okay, but we would definitely hit October.
so the last thing I think that came up last time was that you're waiting for some feedback from either DPW or D.
Yeah, so we met with,
Did that come through?
yeah, we'll go there, we'll start with links. We met with DEP and CDM Smith. Tim has to go a little further on his plans. They require a certain percentage. He was not quite there yet, but I think I just saw an email a couple minutes ago that he's submitted something to them. So they need 60% of drawing done, and he was pretty close anyway, so. He's gonna get that there. They're gonna file a permit with DEP once they have that. This week, because it's a landfill, it requires multiple stamps. Tim has to sign off on it. Then they have to, CDM Smith has to stamp it as the principal engineer. So it requires another layer, and then it goes to DEP. They're trying to determine, there's another call, not with us, CDM Smith and DEP this week, to determine what permit they need to file, whether it's a 36 or 45. And the only difference there is if it's 36, they could require more information on day 36. And we have to provide more information. They're open for a 45. Where if we don't hear anything back in 45 days, it's an automatic go.
Oh,
They could
okay.
respond before 45 days and tell you you're good to go. But if we don't hear anything, it's automatic go. So we're hoping for the 45. The good news out of all this is CDM is pretty much assured us they're gonna sign off with the project because of improvements. We just don't know what kind of little caveats they may include at their end to satisfy their needs.
Who is this?
DEP.
This
So,
is
so for example, there's a couple spots that are low than the required amount of fill. So it
Mhm.
requires 2 feet in every area. We found in test pits a couple spots that are too low. Will DEP get involved to that point and force us to raise it up? They may, or they may not. If they do, that changes what Tim has to draw, what we have to do. Now, hopefully they don't, because we're just gonna stick a drain in that area and let it drain. But it changes everything if that is the case. We have to fill it, open the area up, round it up. Becomes a different project. So there is that chance that they do it. They don't, CDM Smith doesn't think they will, but you never know. So they may also require that we test fit certain areas before we start digging to confirm the liner's not there.
Okay.
So we already did test pits in the low areas where we thought that digging is gonna occur. Did not find liners in any of the spot that we would go that far. So they may say like, but we didn't do 1 on 6, for example, the high spot. They may say, okay, if you're gonna go down, we need you to do a test pit. So just certain things that they might say, like their amendments or provisions to this permit.
So these basically all refinements to the actual master plan that.
Yeah, so pretty much we're just hoping they don't say you need to do this, this, and this. If they want us to test pit before we dig a bunker, that's fine. That's simple enough. We're there. But if they're forcing us to raise an area, then that's a whole different project. And that will have to be drawn up, approved.
Is this is calling it the Links master plan, is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
As opposed to the Links water plan.
Yeah, so
Separate, yeah.
that's a good transition in that. So with the transfer pipe, that's a whole other part of the project.
Yeah.
That would need to cross over the links at some point. Real early on, and we take it over by 4T and then up in the hill. We don't want to take it further down. So we would need CDM Smith to sign off on that as well, that we're gonna take this open liner. So we're waiting on, actually, we weren't waiting, we were waiting on the bike trail plan. We got that, so Tim's, we're gonna work on where we final take it. So they would need to be involved in that as well. The other side of the transfer plan is the bike trail is getting redone in 2024. So we need to work with DPW on when they're gonna allow us to dig up the bike trail. Because they're not gonna allow us to get up, and then they're gonna wanna dig up like a year later. It's probably gonna be a time thing. So we dig it up, they're okay with us putting it back messy because they're gonna come back and fix it.
Oh, okay, kind of like the Route 28, yeah.
Right, similar,
yeah.
yeah. Cause that would be the best for everybody. So there's a chance I see both of these projects being together at one point. While we're doing that work, this work would be going on at the same time. Especially taking the pipe over. Or at least the first half of it.
So we have the permissions for the pipe as it now stands, right? Basically,
Well, we have the funding. but
the
we-
funding, and I thought we got
Except the
permissions,
longer
except,
it gets put off, the more expensive it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's not exactly put off, it's timing it right with the bike trail. You know, if it's a few months ahead of it, that's fine. They're not gonna want us to do a year and then they redig it up in a year.
But we could save money too if we do it with them.
Right, so the bike trail's getting wider as they go, so they don't really care too much about what we're doing,
okay,
but
so do we have a,
we would at least wanna put the front half of the transfer pipe in the ground while Tim is doing his project. So that's while CDM Smith is on site. So that we can run that and then get off the liner, they don't have a say, but.
What is that get it right around to the 4th tee? Is that about where you're talking?
Yeah, there's a couple routes, and the quickest, easiest route is to take it from the road right in front of 4T. Right down 3 and connect up by 2 Green and then bike trail the rest of the way. Now that's just thinking with Tim and I, once the irrigation consultant, he may say do it another way, but doubtful. Trying to do the simplest, quickest run possible. That requires to go on the liner. Otherwise, we gotta go way down and around. There's no reason for that.
You got me sitting here thinking I gotta go 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
Okay,
so 3, the right side of 3, the right side of the cart path on 3, that's off the liner.
Yeah.
That's not technically on the liner. So
How
we
far does the
put a
liner
pipe
go?
down in there.
they go all the way across that whole fairway and everything?
From where?
For 3, is it all?
Yeah, so from pretty much from the cart path
Yeah.
on that edge, it's all on the other side, so,
Okay.
but anytime we're
So
dealing
anything
with
to the
liner, it's
anything to the right
easier.
side. Fine.
So, those are the two little flip. We're pretty far along in the links course, but we're kind of slow at. We can't really put out bid docs until we know what we're
What we're
bidding.
doing. Yeah.
Right. So we can't really say we're ready for funding when we don't even have our construction bid doc ready to go. So and we're not gonna put a bid doc out and then have to have changes to it. So we need to know everything involved, because CM Smith has to be on site for us to do the work. We can't do any digging without them on site.
Okay.
Who is CMS there?
They're the overseer of the landfill, so when we did the test bits, we had to have them here, so they're running the flare the entire time. Yes. Just to be safe.
Is it CMF or C and F?
CDMS, CM Smith,
So do you think by October we'll be able to
absolutely.
go to town?
So say if the permit gets filed next week, they have 45 days from there. That's the goal anyways.
Okay.
And then Tim would be writing bid docs during that time anyways, but then if something came back, he could change something, and then we'd have to submit. We have like that whole window of just to submit things, like they say something back in a week, then we can keep going, submitting new information to them. But it doesn't look like it, but you never know with DEP, they could literally acquire a bunch of stuff for them. Hopefully not. They don't think so either, CEOs yet, so
Oh, good.
hopefully. But we do have to wait the 45 days. They couldn't respond sooner, doesn't sound like it. Either which way, we need bid docs. It needs to go out the bid, the requirement out just about a month. So there's zero chance it gets the springtime meeting.
So in the spring, you know how we had that meeting last year of the members meeting? I mean, we have so much going on that nobody's aware of and where the money is being spent. We should really think about this year having another one, an education meeting, really. To say,
I know there's a big push on from the selectmen too, select person council to try to get more communication from everybody out to the public, so. It wouldn't hurt.
can't have it at the Irish Village unless we.
As we break in.
We're all qualified, 60, what is it, 60 you have to be or something, there's a big sign out front.
What? What's this?
The old Irish Village is
Yeah.
now gonna be a senior housing.
Oh, is it really? Oh, no.
I don't think we wouldn't have one. We were planning on doing another, right? Another member meeting.
I think we need to have something, because I think there's so much going on.
I
that
agree.
People don't,
Absolutely.
and this is all good to say, this is, you know, this is stuff. I mean, really, unless people went to a Board of Selectmen meeting or something, nobody, they
You're
don't
right.
know about what we're doing with the water.
Well, the Board of
and
Selectmen
the
didn't know that we
rainwater.
had a members meeting, and in fact,
Right.
Mr. Stone was a little surprised to find out that he was complaining about us not having any communication, that we
Right.
were communicating.
Yeah.
That we
Yes.
had a members meeting, that we were sending
When
out
did we do the last
letters.
one? June?
I think it was June, summer last year.
Early, if we wait till the Florida guys get back,
Yeah.
yes,
Or, yeah. So,
I really.
But we could
think-
have I mean, this time of year, there's probably a lot of people that aren't here. Maybe we could do a small one. I mean, we could do it in a smaller space. Could we do it up at Bass River?
I think you want to wait. till
Yeah, you
people
gotta
get
wait,
back,
because
I think that's part
More,
of the,
Well, I know, but I'm just thinking if you want to have two a year, could have one winter time and one summertime. Doesn't that make, does that not
what
good?
about at the old Riverway?
Or are you thinking more,
oh, yes, and you know that group that does stuff with,
Family.
Ellen, did you want to have,
Family table.
Yes. how about,
do you want to have two during the main season? Is that the? what you
no,
think?
I just want to have one at the beginning, to say,
Beginning of the season?
you know,
Yeah.
people are still asking, where is all this money going? that we're making? I
So you're
think we
thinking-
need to educate,
You're thinking more May.
May, June, when first,
And then-
When did we do it last year? It was just.
June,
was it just-
beginning of June.
It was just after Memorial.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the beginning of June.
Would you
Yeah,
do,
that's a good idea, have it there.
But
I'm just. Yeah, so-
would we be able to use Flex Pond for free, or do we have to pay for the space?
Yeah, but Flex Pond's not
Free,
big
but
enough.
it's not, it wasn't big enough.
But it wa- you know, I thought that room was huge.
No, not
We
a
put
Flex
too-
Pond.
we
It's
put
really
too many
small.
What about the senior center? That's got that big auditorium.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
well, we had discussed that last year.
Yeah.
And then we decided to do it
Yeah,
at,
they use
Yeah, the
schools.
keys,
Yeah,
the old school.
since they can use.
Hey, when does a new school
Oh.
open?
That meeting there.
Right after February.
That's
vacation.
true.
So soon?
When they go back, when they
That's
go
okay,
back.
but I'm
on
sure.
February.
yeah, but at that point, it may
Is that
not,
the end of the month, is it basically? Or-
they may be closing it down. It won't be.
Yeah.
We can find a spot.
It looked like it was ready, that's why I wondered.
Yeah, figure it out, but I really think we should put that on the, do people agree?
Wouldn't
that?
that be
Yes, I
good
do.
to have one on site?
Yeah, I think having two a year,
No. It sounds like it sounds, from what I hear, it sounds like we need one on sites.
Yes,
Yes, yes.
and it has to be able,
Great.
has to be able to support 1,000 people, so.
No.
150. Is that what showed up last time?
No, that's what I said. If you did it in, if you out of town, but if you did it in Hyannis, the new Irish Village, they have a 2,000 seat.
Really?
Yeah, they have a huge area for that.
Just in the last night, they have a huge concert.
Right. No, well, it's always been there, but there's plenty of room there.
Where's
We should
it?
find something local.
It's right by the-
I don't think it's out of 2,000 people.
We did one at the
Yeah.
Realtor building before, that was alright, they opened up both rooms.
Where?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
the Realtor building.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. We did do that.
So we could go there too. There's plenty of space, the problem there was parking, I think was the issue.
Yeah, that-
We'll find a spot,
right.
what do you think, like April? Or May?
I think May, get the Florida people back.
Right.
At least some of them, yeah.
Yes,
At
Want me to
at
call
least at a time when you
Passholder
can
and
say, you know,
Want to get the sign as pass holder?
pass.
pass holder.
It's your pet peeve.
I know.
So and then, so going into Bass River, I don't know if you guys have been in the pro shop, we're doing tremendous work over there.
It's in Friday, as was everybody else.
So that would be deemed a capital project. Out of the value of that, because it's, we're fixing our asset, so that'd be capital. So when we pay those bills, they'll be coming out of capital expenditures. Which is fine, that
Yeah.
needed it. Looks a hell of a lot better than it did.
I mean, the building that was gonna be condemned and torn down 10, 15 years ago.
Well, we gotta fix what we got.
That's right.
And are we gonna get the outside painted, the porch?
We were working on a couple items on that at the moment.
Before it falls off.
I'll make Fred happy.
So yeah, if you've been in there, it looks awesome. So new carpet will go in there too. And then there'll be a whole refresh in there. It's great. We've been up here, I don't know if you guys have been up here, this is about 50 or 60% done now, they put up the shingles on the back of the building today. They should have it 50% decided by the end of the week. And then pretty much just got paint after that. They're cruising right along,
Excellent.
so that looks like it's gonna be done on time.
When do you think the pro shop will be done at Bass River?
Oh, there's only a couple more days of work, right?
He's doing well.
Even the carpeting?
No, that will be
No,
done at
no.
a separate time.
No, then we need to spackle all the nail holes and then paint and
So I could say by
trim.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that'll be neat when so many people come back and.
And then for stuff on the course, Tim is coming down tomorrow to look at stuff at Bass River. As far as building, our focus will be on improving the clubhouse area, flowing traffic better, the first tee, what else? A new ladies tee up, or forward tee on Butler Top on 13. We need to declutter that area first and then we'll move out from there.
So are you having a new tee on the third
Of
hole?
course you're talking.
Maybe not this
Bass River.
winter,
That's what I thought.
but
Okay.
eventually, yes.
Well, only because the green, no, I'm sorry, the blue and the white balls were there. So we drove up thinking they must have already marked out where you're gonna put the red tee.
No, it may just be to give the tees a break,
Yeah.
and it's just the winter tees.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what they did.
But yes, I don't know if we'll get to that one this year, but it will be there at some point soon. If we get to it this fall, maybe this fall, might be more this fall project, but. We're trying to do. A couple of safety things in the first hole. Anything else?
Over
What,
there.
what kind of safety things?
Showing stuff over here.
You can handle that in a minute. Safety things off the second hole. Hole 11 over there with the trees and the carpet going down low.
Oh, yeah.
So if you play that hole, you only have half the hole because the trees are so overgrown. We want to push all those back.
On one,
Two.
on two?
Down in the,
And then everything on,
Well, both, because even the men's.
Yeah.
team is
The
not-
the men's tee, you're
It's
right, it's
blocked.
so,
if you go down the
Yeah.
carpet, down the hill there, everything on that side will be gone. And all trees will be on the other side of the carpet.
Because I'll clear out for my sled.
So this is why Tim's somehow or other confirmed what we're gonna do, finally going up, take some trees down. Which is good, so we're working on that. But if you haven't seen a lot of stuff go on Bass River, it's because we always do Gator first, since the guys are here, and then we go over there. But it's on our list, so we'll get it done very soon. This is not like a couple other winters where we've done a lot, this is just fine tuning some things. So there's not a whole lot of trees to be gone, and if there is, if there's more than I think over at Bass River, we'll bring Mike in to help us out. To move along quicker.
and the car paths.
Car paths will rip out, the ones that we want to rip out for now, like the 101 going further down, the one on 13. Probably in that area for now, we'll go see what other ones we can patch.
Yeah.
Help out.
Fill, there's some that just need filling to that one.
Yeah. So
When
it's more of a slow process at Bass River. What we're trying to do is tackle what we can tackle from Tim's master plan. So whatever we can pull off in our in-house will help in the
Mhm.
future to lower the cost of the whole plan. Now, we can't go around and build bunkers. It's not in our cards. We could build one and one every year. So
you can
if
fill
we
in,
want it done in 30 years, we can do it that way, but.
you're doing a good job of filling in bunkers.
Right, so all those ones, as I mentioned, those are all not a part of the master plan. Anything, so that's why he's gonna come and look at the course, Dennis and I will be there to direct him and like what we wanna try to push one back a little bit. Get him to sign off where to put it, so we can quicken pace up a little bit and stop people from waiting to hit the green, right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, by taking out the ladies green tee on 13, we're gonna utilize that space. And then put a tee in that area down for the first hole. And somewhere in there, I don't know where, he doesn't know where, Tim will tell us where to put it. He'll mark it tomorrow, we'll start building it then.
This is the men's tee for the first
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, yeah, just so people, because that's one of the things, people stand there thinking they can drive the green and. That shot is
Yes.
like a 1 in a million shot because of.
Wasn't that for me?
In 13, I think they can drive.
No,
Yeah.
first hole.
First hole.
Yeah, right.
But we're gonna try to push the tee back, so it's a longer,
Wait a minute, I've been all the way up the bank right in front of the tee.
get it in front of the bunker, which.
And how many shots?
Once in my life, you know,
Scott, they're taking down trees on
been in that trap.
Bayberry up here on 9 Green, up by the clubhouse. Was that disease or just clearing?
That actually wasn't trees, it was just underbrush.
Okay,
We did that 3 or 4 years ago and it's just growing back up, looks a lot better, cleaned out like that.
yeah, it does.
So gives you a nice view of the green again. So
Yeah.
we've done a lot. If you haven't walked your dog, gone out on the course, we've done a lot of the underbrush cleaning
Yeah, so
for this year. Bayberry. It's not as bad at Bass River, it's not as big as theirs, but. So hopefully you can find your ball a little quicker at Bayberry, and move along if you're in the woods. Hopefully you're not in the woods, but. Some of us play in the woods,
I always hope. Always work.
but. What else we got at Bass River, anything?
did you pick lights out for the clubhouse?
Not yet.
Okay,
Love to pick your brain on that.
yeah,
Let me know what you think. We need
something
6 of them.
stylish, 6 of them. Oh,
4
that's
up
a lot.
top, in the back,
Okay.
and 2 in the front.
it was two things coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's all that story
Amazing.
about Bayberry, they found 6 spots for lights,
On the back by the.
4 on the back and 2 on the front, so. the building will be nice and lit up, when it's all done.
Oh, my gosh.
They were wired but never,
Yeah, they were wired box and everything.
oh, shingled right over it?
Right on.
So they're all been light blocked out and perfect spot for light. You can go out there and take a look.
Okay, good.
Nice. Oh, that alone will be.
Yeah, give a nice profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's floor up top, we're pretty much probably from when the deck was there. When they got rid of the deck, they decided to shingle over them, because they're elevated up top, and then. Staring at the front of the clubhouse, window on the right, there's one on each side. Clearly should have been there, but just wires and boxes just dumped in the wall. Which is a good find by our company doing the work, they've been awesome, they've been great to work with, so.
Nice.
They've done a bunch of stuff for us. They also fixed the tile coming into the building after they put the doors in to satisfy that problem that we had. So moving right along up there, they're going awesome.
And I know this isn't part of any plan, but are we doing anything with the bathrooms in Bayberry?
Well, Regina just broke the toilet, so we had to fix that.
Keep getting complaints about the
I don't
junk.
know.
The lady-
He's not-
Toilet in the ladies' room got fixed today, actually, because they broke it, but so we work at Parks working on some stuff in there, aren't they?
And then,
We've addressed, we met with Mark and addressed a bunch of stuff with Mark.
Okay,
Bathroom was-
and we have asked Mark to come next
March,
month
yep.
and do a presentation, Mark being the manager of the whole Shea, and do a presentation of what they're doing this year, what they've got in the
So
works.
we mentioned this next year.
Well, I don't know if we'll ever see Bill, but I definitely think we need to see Mark before things,
I think we need to see Mark first.
well, I would like, we need to address some of this before everybody gets playing again. Right?
Yeah, we mentioned that his presence is requested in March. And we mentioned that he needs to come prepared with who's in charge. Who do you guys go to?
new menus.
New menus. Oh, that's the other thing, if you haven't been, sorry, got in Bass River. We created a little office for them. So supposedly they're gonna have calling hours for. Or not calling, whatever, office hours.
Or when things die, we're going to have calling
Sorry, office hours,
Freudian.
office hours for someone, so if you guys are having some kind of issues, you don't see one of us, you can go there. It's that little area in Bass River we framed in, it's a little office now, or the,
Used to be the handicap computer was.
Oh, okay.
it's not huge, but it's solves a problem where there's a spot for them. So they were pretty excited about it, and hopefully they follow through what they said they're gonna do. And we'll see, but they said they're gonna have someone here to be there for office hours at least 3 or 4 days a week, right?
That's it.
So if you guys have anything, they'll be there to see. We kind of said we're not dealing with much of it this year, so it's on them.
Yeah, good.
How long does their contract?
This
1
is
year.
right?
This
It's
is
year by
it.
year,
This is.
This is
okay.
it.
but you sign like a 1 year.
No, it's 3.
Uh-huh.
3 years
So it's
contract.
options, but we're at the 3rd year, so.
But yeah. Get your questions ready for them for March. Hopefully they're prepared like we told them to be for March. We'll probably have some conversations with them.
Oh, that reminds me, God. Just on the topic of March, since I already got through the minutes, I apologize. I'm not gonna be here. Well, I'm gonna be gone from the 8th to the 15th, so I don't know if we have a meeting when we usually do, if somebody else could step in for the minutes, unless you want to do it outside that time frame.
Well, we've already asked Mark, is that a problem for you guys?
We haven't told Mark the date,
Okay.
So.
we could do March 6th if you wanted, if that works
Want
for
to do March
everybody.
6th?
Fine with me, yeah. I just
Fine
did,
with me.
sorry, I just won't be here the second.
March 6th works with everybody, we can tell them March 6th.
We do March 6th.
Would we share those questions with Mark prior to arriving?
I would say if you have questions, compile lists, get it down.
Yep,
Yeah,
The
makes sense.
better,
yes.
That way he's.
the better list you have of things. Yeah, it's not like you want to surprise them, but you want to know that you're well prepared.
Exactly,
Here's what we need answered,
Shay,
and
something.
let him answer it.
exactly.
Yes,
And then hopefully
Hold
you
them
get
accountable.
documentation.
yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Okay.
That would be a good idea.
That's what Shay.
CHEZ.
CHEZ.
Says.
So have we had many new members?
Yes.
Let's finish up
I
capital.
think-
Dennis
oh,
has a
sorry,
couple
no.
things
Oh, okay, sorry.
added to everything.
Yeah, there's a couple of things we're looking at, a new starter shack for up here. To replace the old one we have now, Pine Harbor drew up a sketch of one, and we're gonna go ahead and do that, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna demo the current one ourselves, get it out of there. And then we've been talking about out in front of where the starter shed is now, is to put a partition area, whether it be cobblestone, we're talking to Josh about best way to do it, and putting a clock, like one of those standing clocks.
Oh, yeah.
There, so the carts can go to the first hole, go right by the starter shack, which is gonna be down lowered. A bigger platform is gonna move over it, so the starter can stay right on that front porch and when the people are driving by, talk to them and get their information out to them and stuff like that, so.
Those clocks can cost like 75 grand or something, can't they?
Yeah, can I chime in for a second too? Because aside from that, we should have Jeff or whoever,
Mhm.
kind of think in terms of that, because he identified that as an area of concern. Traffic,
Yeah, I had talked to them about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
so it might, before we go really deep into that, a new starter shed, I mean, you can move that anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's, I'd leave that to the professionals. In a way, no offense, but I mean, because he might have other things, where that building goes would impact that. So before we go hardscaping, that might be something we want
That's a good
to
idea.
look at,
We'll bring it to his attention.
yeah. He had it in his bonnet a little bit, was talking to you about that. What do you do down there? Looks like a traffic disaster.
Well, it is a bit of a disaster when
Yeah.
it gets really crowded there. There's a lot of people milling
Right.
around and you get all the carts.
Yeah, so
And you have daily fee people who don't know which way to go.
And so
Well-
the stuff we had talked about was, like, say down the road, that you do build something above the cart barn, you have like a restaurant up there. To do like a halfway house at the ninth hole,
Right,
you can drive right by it, it's small, but it has hot dogs, hamburgers.
exactly. The
and
quick turn.
down, Right,
Oh,
that you go right by and just.
yeah,
Out of the box a
Yeah.
little bit to do
Right.
something different, yeah.
That would be a better halfway house than his restaurant.
Yeah, no, it makes
Yeah,
more,
quick
it-
turn.
yeah, and that's where you get the stuff at the turn and then they go ahead, you can do it easier in a spot that's closer to that they drive right by it, you know.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
thought, if it's even feasible, I don't know.
But it does make sense.
Yeah.
Keep people bearing right, not coming up and jamming that whole area, up,
yeah.
heading back against the grain and
People still get lost. Some of the ones that aren't regulars, they get lost or they're using the bathroom or whatever and they do.
exactly
something.
that same thing.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me,
What else we got?
Next line.
Well, especially the people who go
Signs.
backwards around the ninth. You can tell right off the bat, oh, never been here before.
So
Then
none
they
of
drive
them are
off
in
and
the.
go off into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Then they come back because they go.
So if we can't get the Bass River one done, can we just paint the thing for it?
So,
A big sign out
Up
front,
front?
if you
Oh,
just got painted.
we'll get it done. I'm in action to get it done.
Well, I plant it every year and every year I'm taking wood chips out of it.
Will you just knock it down next time you're over there? We'll get it done.
Yeah, we just,
We're
Just,
having some difficulty with our current sign provider, so.
it
Um,
doesn't even
there's
have to be the green part that says Bass River, but the posts and the board,
We wanna do them
and,
correctly so that you can see them from every angle, not just one side of the
I know,
street.
but if you're not gonna get to it,
No, we'll get to it.
just paint it.
We'll get to it. Same issues at Bayberry, the sign doesn't blow up.
It should be able to be seen from when you come into that intersection from multiple places, just in one spot, so.
So we'll, I think Dennis is working on, we got another sign vendor that we could go to and see what we can pull off.
But it may be 3 quotes. so.
Good.
So.
And you have Charlotte that's gonna do some,
She's great. We'll have her do
I
some
don't think
stuff.
they know about Charlotte.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't.
The
She's
planting.
gonna do a few things out for us this year. She's gonna help keep us maintained a lot better. She'll come in like, well, I think she said once a quarter or something like that, once a month. To check it out, and make sure everything's going a lot better.
Nice. The shrubs and,
So whatever we
Yeah,
got,
the flowers.
your stuff you want
yeah.
removed at your house.
Yeah,
They'll come in on the spring,
We'll let her know to put
Yeah.
them somewhere for us.
yeah.
Is
Is it somebody coming over with that?
oh, Lou,
So that-
We had an idea of the patio up top, enclosing it almost with like a tent with drop curtains. Is something that could be used, could be 3-seasoned. As something to look at,
Yeah,
and I have somebody coming up to meet me Wednesday. This week.
patio up top.
Like a
Behind the
awning.
Behind the
clubhouse.
Yeah.
Here,
Oh, okay,
so
yeah,
it would be
Oh.
covered, the
yes.
whole thing would be covered instead of having umbrellas out there. It would be
You know,
over,
The other day I was thinking that we should have something that hits
Yeah,
the
we
whole patio,
Like an awning type. deal.
yes.
it's an awning, but it'd be more like a
Tent.
covered, yeah, you see a lot of restaurants have that, some of the other golf
Yeah,
courses
so
have
it'll
it.
extend our capacity to
Correct.
us.
Yeah, plus it's, you know, if it's.
If it's windy or rainy.
If it's in the-
nice.
and if it's in the sh- you know, if it's in the shade,
sure.
more people can be active and want to sit out there, you know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start looking at getting quotes for that type of thing,
Excellent.
so.
Good luck with the boxes that we plant with artificial flowers, please.
Well, because if you even, well, you can even figure out, because they have the indoor outdoor TVs, maybe they could someday. put Little TVs out there, you know, put a little bar underneath the overhang.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you could do out there that wouldn't be as expensive as putting in a, you know. A full-time thing, and then that after a few years wears out, you just replace the.
Right.
Thing and keep the framework, so. So that's what, one of the things I'm looking at. So.
Did you say before,
Spending that money on.
sorry, trying to take note.
It's on
Look
fire.
at
Did
it
you-
and say, gosh, this is worth paying that little extra.
Did you say,
You know,
actually new signs for Bayberry and Bass River?
Yeah.
Well, I saw the first one the
Just wanna make
other
sure I
day.
got it right.
Automatic.
Yes, a bunch of different things, so.
You know, so there's a lot of layers going on and these guys are doing great, keeping everything organized, so
Our guys,
it's
doing a great job, all of it.
kind of many moving parts at once. But we'll get them all done at one point here very soon. Signs are easy, once we find a company that's rather reasonable, the other ones are easy because we know they're higher than most of them in.
Yeah.
But the one that we got was outrageous, so.
Well, my pen says simple, stolen from Simple Signs.
Well, it's your fault, it's so expensive. Yeah. Because they were at the tournament last year, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
We'll get those out. I told Dennis I wanted a sign out front at Bayberry, you know, for Joller's Pool, that nice garden, and lights and everything outside.
Yeah.
You know, so we can get rid of those stupid ones hanging off the building, the pro shop, and the little tiny sign that's about this big. So it's a nice sign, that's what else, we have the lights on the building too. Hopefully we can find a connection to tell us, but.
And I noticed the Bass River Unit sign now on the first pole. Women, ladies, and whatever, the people out wandering around. Go out and that was-
Well, I think the plan over there is to utilize the old T as the whole starter area, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna kind of push you down there,
With the
to
new
stay away
shed
from the clubhouse
there as
area.
well. Figure out how to route.
But that's why Tim's gonna be to help route traffic, to make sure we do this correctly.
Excellent. So is the ladies' tea on one going to disappear?
No, that was good.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just,
Okay.
yeah. Ladies aren't trying to drive the green much, so.
yeah. I'm kidding.
Some may, but, yeah.
Well, it's when this guy's playing the green tees. There are some guys that play the green tees because everybody else does, and they
Oh, they can definitely drive it.
they're gonna be using a, you
Yeah,
know,
but so if we,
a 4 and a 5 iron.
if we move a tee back, we can put the green tee down. And that can just be the floor tee.
Oh, and the other part of that whole process is Mass Golf is gonna come re-rate the golf course for the tee box.
Oh,
I
yeah.
already have
I-
that set up, but we had to wait till we couldn't tell them where it was gonna be going from.
Yeah, we don't need it technically built, we just need to mark where it is so we can get the correct yardage. And once we build it.
Yes, I was gonna mention that before.
Yeah, it's in
Some
the
members
works, it's just, it
mentioned
has
that.
been. But last year, when we were starting to talk about this, we had the guy that did the readings took another job, so he left, and they haven't even filled the position back yet, so. They were trying to hire multiple people in that golf.
Okay.
By June, we should have it, but then we have to do new scorecards and.
And what about like my GPS? Still, I have to advance it 10 holes, 9 holes. Can I go to the?
It's the company itself.
Is it the company?
Yeah.
So,
You have to do that
yeah.
at Bass River?
Some
Yeah.
companies,
Yeah, mine
Have
doesn't.
that.
I have swing you and it goes right to the first hole.
yeah,
Mine doesn't
Yeah, a
anymore,
couple of
since they
companies-
changed the holes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Garmin, I have a Garmin and it just.
Okay,
It's old.
Can we,
nobody
I'll
knows.
show you
can we alert them?
I'll show you, I'll show you, I'll show you an app you can use like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
We try to do what we can on our end to help that. By alerting them.
Right,
What else we got?
I think we're-
Capital?
Not capital.
Yeah, we're done.
I think we're
Director's report.
moving on
That's
to
all.
your stuff.
No, this is just, we
Oh.
talked about, these are
Yeah.
plan clinics and stuff we have planned for the upcoming year. Actually, Ian put this together the other day, and just want to pass these around, just kind of show some of the stuff that's right that we're gonna do this year. Try to get everything a little bit uniform, hopefully get a little bit more help.
I'm sorry, Dee, you won't be able to have one.
That's okay. I'll look at it when I come home. Thank you.
Getting into the PGA. So these are the first steps of getting back in, getting his apprentice card, which would be good, that he can start to teach. Once he gets that going on.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's one of the things we're trying to work on going forward. Yeah, thanks. So you can just take a look at this, this is just a reference and to show you the stuff I'm gonna do. Going forward this year, with some of the stuff we are gonna be doing, those afternoon clinics that we talked about, that's not in here right now, but we were definitely doing something like that.
That would be wonderful.
For sure, yeah,
Yeah.
we just have to find a good day for.
I put it in, but I just.
Is it dropping
I put in
afternoon?
Thursday, but I didn't know. if that was-
Yeah.
This is kind of like what they always used to do.
Is that Tiger?
It's a little bit higher, yeah.
It's a little
Oh,
Ian.
yeah, it-
But one of the things too that I talked to the restaurant about the other day, I used to do clinics with food and food when I was a family. Very inexpensive clinics, but most of them was the food, because I was trying to bring in new golfers and ladies groups substantially from this, because you get a lot of people that hadn't paid, that get to meet each other. Sat down after the
Yeah, that's a
clinic,
big one.
have somebody eat, then they started to play golf together, and once they got comfortable, then, you know, I was trying to get them to join the leagues, and it worked. We used to get a lot of people doing that, so. We could do clinics for ladies like that.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
think you
$25,
Thanks.
did one like that too.
$25, $30, which included lunch.
Dennis, I don't know if this is feasible. Do you ever do clinics for the high school teams?
I do, yeah, I offer free clinics.
I just wondered, because I saw them all hitting off the tee sometime. I could tell they could use a little bit of instruction.
We do go down there, Ian and I have both done that with, some of the coaches are okay.
I was
with it.
wondering how the coaches felt about it.
Well, it was, yeah, even when I was in Harvard years ago, the coach was always like, I'm like, what's your job? I'm just trying to, you know.
No, so I got-
But that's,
Yeah, that's what I wondered,
but
yeah.
that does happen a little bit. But yeah, we give free
Okay.
instruction whenever we get time.
It'd be, I
Yeah.
figured it'd be nice for that, you know, get some real professional input versus some of the coaches who think they know what they're doing.
I know, yeah, no, so we do that. We do offer that going. that stuff.
And you know what,
I've been
this would be
coaching.
another thing that would be good to put
What?
on during the meeting and have some signups charts around. For people to just sign up with
Yeah.
their interested.
And then one thing that's not here, as we talked about, we're gonna be doing some Wednesday night vacation week. We're gonna do some free clinics. We're gonna get that on the radio. The radio station's actually gonna come out and do a live remote for it that day. You get to play some music, open the TV, kind of fun, do some stuff like that. And then
Nice.
get into more demo days and stuff this year than we had last year. So, all that, get back.
Nice plans.
Well, I used to teach, I
Plans.
used to teach a lot when I was years ago, so we want to get back into it.
Well, some of this answers some of the questions that the Board of Selectmen used to ask us about how does the town get out of anything,
Right.
even though they don't contribute.
The way I always looked at it for most of the stuff I've done over the years is I'm trying to bring in new golfers. I wasn't in it for the money, as much as it sounds stupid to say that, but a lot of the stuff I was always trying to do was try to get more people comfortable to come to the golf course, because that's what it's about. That's how you learn, you know, so. And that would be, it's fun. It's fun to do that, so. Those who've been in my clinics know I like that fun doing that, so,
Nice.
yeah.
These clinics, you're gonna have Ian and Alec part of this, right?
Yeah, Jim Howell's gonna be part of it too. Yesterday. I don't read the Top Shot,
Nice.
yeah, so,
Is he he's down south for the winter, right?
no,
He doesn't
no,
go
he's
south?
around, he's going back for 6 days and another week,
Oh,
I
okay.
think he said. His brother lives down there, so,
Okay.
for the winter, so. But he's gonna, the Top Shot this year, he's gonna go up to one of the holes and you can use his tee shot in the par 3.
Okay.
Oh,
So he's gonna be out there for the Top Shot this year.
Can I use it on a regular basis?
He goes, you gotta make it 200 yards. I said, all right, 250.
Just put them back on the face. Hit
He
it from 225, see if you can do
was like, oh. So
it. 17, 248.
Yeah.
that's how I got him to agree. I said, yeah. We'll make it through that.
Ouch. Yeah.
You need to get your fire iron. That's it.
nice, very nice.
I get depressed when I watch the weekend tournaments, you know, it's like you watch these guys and they hit like 7 irons and it's like 200 yards or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially when it's
I'm
last
going,
weekend,
yeah,
because
it's-
they're in altitude too.
I'm going, what the hell?
Right. hitting a wedge 158,
I know,
par 3, I was like.
I
For a
know.
couple, it was like 215, 228 irons, and I'm going.
I was
you know,
crazy.
This is outrageous. It really is.
So we talk about membership now?
Sure. Okay.
Is this the director's report?
Yes, it kind of,
Part of the director's report.
Not quite there yet. All right,
Start with that.
memberships. There you
Flip them
go.
around.
There's a couple more.
My first note on the director's report was that these were approved by BOS and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So memberships are coming in, February. Right, you know, those are numbers, the regular annuals are at 126.26, non-residents, et cetera, et cetera. Totals $230 as of 5 o'clock this evening.
Sure.
And then just for ha-has, I calculated of our under 35s, we have 19 that have enrolled, 14 are from out of town.
Not surprised.
wow.
Young adults, we have 1 young adult from out of town, and juniors, 4 junior out of town juniors, 2 out of town seniors, 11 out of town links, and 2 out of town twilights.
No, I think that's nice to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our non-residents we're at 26, and then I broke it down because I was just curious
Where
myself
they're
to
coming
see
from?
where they're coming from. Like, are we having an influx from Dennis because Dennis is not taking, is
Yeah, they've got-
we're having a hard time?
Yeah.
Or are they from Captains
Yeah, they're
or
all over the place.
Cranberry, and they're from all of Harwich, only 1 person from Harwich, 1 person from Brewster. There's 2 from Comaquid, 3 from Dennis, 3 from Sandwich. Centerville is actually Barnstable, but yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the one from Marble Cliff, Ohio.
They must come for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are these just the new ones?
he joined last year. No,
Wow,
no.
nice.
Now, the new memberships, you can see I broke it down. So we've got
Oh, okay.
11 new regular annual memberships, and we've got 9 new non-resident
That's interesting.
memberships, yeah, yeah. One senior, 4 under 35s, who are young adults, sorry, I forgot the G. Yeah, so 3 links, 4 twilights.
So a lot of those for under 35 are carryovers, I guess.
Yeah.
And of the Twilight ones, those are all new members, they were never annuals or anything else first.
I had one person that went from a regular membership to a Twilight. I think I had 3 people that upgraded and 2 people downgraded. I had 2 non-member residents that went to links. And then I had one,
One just changed over to me the other day. And when David came back in,
I had 2,
he bought his wife a Lynx and then they decided they were gonna do the Twilight. Instead, that way they could play.
oh, no, he hasn't come back in
Oh,
yet.
he hasn't
He
come
hasn't
back
come
in.
back in yet, yeah. And then we've
Just
also,
remember, we let them upgrade. not downgrade.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
and we've had a couple like juniors that are now young adults and a couple of young
Oh, yeah.
adults that are not, yeah, we had a couple of those too, so.
Which is the one we introduced last year?
Twilight.
Twilight, okay, so that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, yeah. So 5 Twilight.
How many did we have last year? We didn't have, would we have only like
Uh,
5?
20, maybe 20, like 18 or
Twilight,
19,
that many?
18 or 19 was the one.
Twilights, I didn't even
Yeah.
think we got that many,
It was
because we
very-
introduced it so
very
late.
few.
I don't think you'll see a lot of people downgrade into it. I think you'll see a lot of people you pick up from other towns.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think, and you'll see like working people that are working, getting out at 3 or 4.
Mhm.
I don't see a lot of people actually downgrading into it. I think you just pick up people that are
But that's
normally
always.
can't play in the morning anyways,
Right.
or they join Dennis and can't get on and they're gonna join over here for $800 more dollars.
Yeah.
And get on in the afternoon.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I had a guy who works for Fairview Miller. And he came in and bought a Twilight membership because he works all day, you know, he was out and he bought a Twilight membership.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I talked to a guy that, in one of the stores, and he was
Hmm.
playing in Brewster, because that's the only,
what is it, 2 PM all year long now? Is that what we just,
Doesn't change.
pretty much doesn't change?
This is definitely a place for people my age, so they all come here.
Oh, yeah.
That's why that number's gonna keep growing, because
I would
they
imagine.
won't, nobody wants to join Dennis right now. They don't want to go over to Harwich. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's too hard to get through times for
Well, the
younger people that want to play all the time in the afternoons even, so.
Well, the under
They're all doing
35s will end up, will be at probably 135 last
Yeah,
year or something, so.
I played with a couple of them last year. They came down from up near Quincy,
Yeah.
and they came down,
Yeah.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
just, they said, hey, you know, if I get a chance to play here
Boston.
20 times a year, it's a bargain.
Yeah.
So, not
I
even,
think
and they like to play in the afternoon, so it's a bargain for us.
yep.
But I think-
Or weekend.
a lot of them too, their parents have a house in like Dennis or, you know, not in Yarmouth, but you
They
know.
generally don't care when they play. They're not like trying to play at 7 in the morning.
They don't want to
10
play
o'clock
7 in the
on.
morning.
As long as we get it.
They're
done.
getting home at 7.
They're not getting in Ted's way.
You're right. You're right. They get home.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's great.
that's the latest. on
And so we're up
this.
until 1.
Sleep till 10.
Sorry. Thank you.
Alright, we can go into this, most of this is probably
Sign up.
covered, it's, the website's one of the big things. That's gonna change, nothing will change how you guys operate it, we say it very similar. It'll just be a new provider, it'll look more modern kind of. Everything else will be the same, we'll have all the same things. They have a better event feature, which these guys will use, so clinics, anything, tournaments, all that will go online, they can set deadlines and do it all at the beginning of season and set it all up, and it'll just be automatic. So, that's a great feature there. Just wanted to show that we are spending all the money that Ellen mentioned, a lot of the past town meeting articles have been used. The golf lift is currently in use, it's all set. The equipment trailer was ordered, hoping for April. And then hopefully these doors will be replaced here in March. That's RFP is out already, due next week, I believe. So hopefully that goes in March and that will be all done down here. There's another upgrade, where all the money's going. So that's another part that I didn't even mention from capital, that's part of it. That would be a huge bonus to these maintenance guys, they'll love it. If you've been on the courses, you see we're doing a lot of work at both. One of the big things over here is we updated the cart crossovers, we removed all the pavement.
Yeah.
It's just T-base, but it's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah.
We've aligned them better too, so you can go from one place to the other a lot better. We have no plans to pave that. We're just gonna leave it as dirt for now. And then
Dirt or shells or what?
it's just T-base, it's the base for asphalt.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
Great.
Great.
when we move into a fan or the bike trail comes in the bay, we'll probably just tack onto that and pave it then, but.
Mhm.
Right now, it's very simple, it's very smooth and it'll be smooth than what it was, so.
I almost tipped a cart a couple times on some of those
Yeah.
crossovers.
No, it was bad.
Not that I can't drive.
But it's pretty easy for us if they do get washed, whatever, we run right out there with skid steer and so. It's a lot smoother and better than what it was there, so. It's a big improvement over here, like I said, you'll see a lot of minor things happening this year than bigger improvement, but. The storm was pretty good to us, not a lot of damage, which was great. It sucked the green right out of the golf course, so it's pretty ground now, but nothing unnormal for winter. Bass River's been very busy this winter with 60-degree weather in February,
Hmm.
so.
And is the mix, do you think it's continued to be at like 50-50 member and non-member?
Whenever you get a warm day like that, yeah,
Yeah,
like Thursday, I'm anticipating it's
Yeah, the phone was ringing today for Thursday, so.
supposed to be 65 degrees or something this Thursday.
Really?
If it doesn't rain,
Yeah, late in the day maybe, but.
I thought Wednesday was gonna be the better day.
newsletter, we're working on that.
Yeah.
Becky's working on that. These guys will. With their difficulty 1 to 2-1, we may need to hold off on that, but we'll see what happens. I may need to go to the new website, but we'll see if we can get one out before we change hands. So if you have anything that wants to go, let them know. I think I'll touch base with most of the capital projects here. Financials, we look very well. I attached the munis report. I do want to show you something different that I'd like to start doing this instead, so you guys can understand what's going on rather than the munis report.
I mean, the one that's different every time.
These are the
Kind of
exact
amazing.
same numbers out of munis. Better understood,
Excellent.
Yeah, the little.
Does it need to do?
That actually looks,
yes.
that looks like it's actually readable.
I will pass this around. That's a lot better than that. If you guys are agreeable, we could go with that.
You still have minuses on what should be pluses. I think like that.
No.
I always think of revenue. It's a plus.
But we're doing very well. Up over $200,000 from last and COVID.
That's amazing. Fiscal.
Yeah.
Right? So that ended in June.
So like when it says 2023, that was
So it was really last
Last
2020.
Summer before last.
Yeah, that was a big,
this summer, we just went through
Was 2022.
2023.
Yeah, right.
yes.
That's right.
Oh, restaurant.
That's
We're
actually 2
we're
years.
now in 2020, we're still in
Still in 22
2023.
Oh, 20,
In June,
Restaurant revenue?
it'll be
In June.
2024.
Yeah, so
okay. Got it.
the lease goes.
So that 2021
It's
It's enough to drive you crazy.
It's really
COVID is really 22, I think.
It's not,
Yeah.
where the fiscal crosses over.
21, 22, that's,
21 and 22 were both COVID. I don't know which one is.
Well, the shutdown for
When was the
COVID
highest? Well,
was 2021, when it was really
2020,
right.
20.
The shutdown was up until June, then by the time
We needed one.
21 started,
That's true.
it was already,
21 was our big year, right?
yeah.
I think
FY 21 was the record year.
record year.
FY 22 was last year. We're in FY 23 right now.
And we're exceeding 21.
Correct.
That's cool.
I did
Why
include
is
the,
Is it from you guys, is this more interest in golf or people are moving here or staying here? or-
No, you know what, I've said this 100 times, what happens is for years before things changed here. The course had bad reputation for course conditions and all this other
Okay.
stuff. It takes a good 5 or 6 years for them to realize that things are different now. And then people start to come back,
Got it.
and they keep coming back, and that's part of the deal.
I think I also have a housing we do have a website because with Chelsea, would book out, community reservations 7 days in advance. Whereas at Club Profit now we're doing 2 and 3, so it gives
It's
them-
almost like supply and
it
demand.
Yeah.
gives the outside greenskees more of an opportunity to book time. That's
Yeah.
another factor too.
But I think just the feedback we've been getting from, because again, like the old story goes, if the course is in great shape, the greens are in great shape,
Mhm.
everybody will come here.
Right.
Right,
And it's.
Yeah,
right, you'll suck from other courses.
And we're still so limited on the Cape for tee times in general.
Oh, yeah,
And other courses are not so good, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Is that Twin Brooks is going away?
Yeah.
Is that done?
yeah,
Okay,
Also, the younger
Mhm.
generations are playing golf more now too. so.
okay. That's-
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear.
All the kids I went to high school with are all playing golf now and they never played
Right.
golf before.
Really,
Yeah,
So,
so it's.
it's a good outdoor sport.
exactly.
so that's what COVID brought a lot of people out onto the golf course and they decided,
Couldn't do anything else.
this is a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah,
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 think
I'd love
you'll
the
see
tape
that
be
it's the outdoor
frustrated.
thing as
yeah,
well.
well,
Yeah. That transfer to general fund, that has nothing to do with our debt release, though, right?
Which one is that?
Transfer to the general fund,
200,000?
280
that's the money we borrowed
the,
that we paid back.
remainder of
that's the final, right? The final bet.
payback, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
We paid back the money we never used. That they told us we were supposed to be able to keep,
We don't know anything anymore, do we?
Yeah.
After that,
No.
and then they decided they wanted it back when they
Well, we
found out we
still-
made money.
don't we still owe on the irrigation project? Is that,
No,
no?
the only debt we carry right now is the project that we did here at Bayberry and the restaurant that they redid over there.
Yeah, that's, oh, I thought we wiped out the restaurant with that transfer.
Those are the debt numbers. Those are the only two things that.
how much debt do we still
Both
have? Do
irrigations are paid on,
you know how much debt we still have?
roughly 185,000.
That's it? That's great.
They're both on a 10-year note, so
At like one.
yeah, very low.
Nice.
So the transfer out you size is the amount, yeah, the 280. And
That
then
we owe, the,
it's the way that they track it, you can see that there's $560,000 technically out of the budget, but it's not, that's all the articles. The town meeting articles.
additional, yes, that's the capital,
Right, so what happens is it has to come into the budget so we can pull the money out of it.
okay, yeah.
Scott,
It
just,
looks like it makes you look worse than you
It
are.
makes you look like you're,
Failing.
yes, in
You gotta
negative
pull those numbers
numbers,
out.
yes.
Scott, if you had to do a rough estimate, I mean, we're through the majority of our revenue year for 2023 anyway, right now.
No,
A lot of
it
it,
actually literally just coming into a lot of the revenue.
Well, May and June are two big.
May and June are 2 big months and we've
Yeah.
only taken in maybe 10% of the total membership money.
the membership money, but I was thinking a lot, the summer seems to be the biggest, the daily fees from the summer seem to be the biggest piece of the.
Yeah,
Income.
May and September are the biggest months for
If-
daily.
So what do you think this year would be as far as the reserve? I mean,
What are we projecting we're gonna make? 750 to $1 million, I would think. I think you look on there, we're close to 750 now, right? Something like that. What's it say on the front page?
Right at the top, revenues.
contributions out, you mean?
Let me see that real quick. We're at $840,000.
Oh, okay.
That you gotta take out the
Yeah,
transfer to the town and then the 560.
Okay.
Because those technically are not in our numbers.
That's
280 comes out of the budget, or it came out of retained, not out of the budget, and then the 560 didn't come out of the budget year. So we're technically up $840,000 up there.
If we never had a chance to, I mean, if we ever have a chance, if we wanted to do something, you know, for Bass River, I forgot how much it was gonna be. I think I saw something like, was it 10
11
million,
million.
10, 11 million to do it if we don't do it with wastewater or something like that? Is that about?
No, that was with wastewater.
That was with wastewater.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do on that, and that's why we got Tim involved as well, as he's gonna have to drop a new master plan of what Bass River looks like. Clearly, we're not going under that.
Right.
Umbrella, that's similar question of I asked you, what's better on the clubhouse front? We need to try to figure out how to do it within 5 million, all in.
The course too?
Course is not as much as you think, if we're keeping the majority of the golf course itself, fixing some safety things, fixing a lot of the stuff that's already there, it's not a huge undertaking.
Does that mean not changing those holes, the way they run and everything?
That would probably be part of it
Okay,
as a safety thing.
yeah,
But that's where probably the majority of the work would be.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, it's kind of like a facelift, if you will. And then we'd have to put in an irrigation system
right.
at the same time. So the whole amount of work is not a ton, really. And then it's like, what do you do with the clubhouse?
Right.
And how much is that gonna cost? Do we have $10 million to shut out Bass River? No, we don't.
Yeah.
If we try to do that, we're gonna go down the tubes quickly. So we need to figure out what we can afford and what we can take on.
That's what I guess I'm getting at. I was just
And
curious.
if you look at bonding over, like, say, it was 10 or 15-year note, how much would that be yearly? And that's how you
Yeah.
should start looking at that.
What's the bond rating now?
I don't know what the town is right now, it's pretty low though. It's,
When we went out for that, it was 1%. So we're paying 1% on our debt right now.
so that's,
Take all the money.
if you do a project that big, that would be the real way to do it, especially you spread it, so you're not hitting your fund too much. at once.
So we want to make sure that we're not taking on too much debt at one time.
Sure.
Right, but you could do a mix of debt and.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the real question first is how much will links cost us?
Mhm.
And how much are we?
Get
gonna
past
go
that
for
first,
that?
yeah.
And then once we figured all that, plus the function facility, once we got those two answers, then we can figure out Bass River. Either which way it has to get done, it has to get done soon.
Right.
So. The plan is we fix this up, do all the things here, and then we move right in over there.
Because I was getting a little worried, Bass River, only because, you know, it seems like we keep having to take time to get started on things like the links, et cetera. So I didn't know how far Bass River was.
Yeah, no, so like, it's interesting because we can't really do anything, like, we physically can't put a shovel on the ground on the links without supervision, so.
Yeah.
We can't undertake the links, we can do certain things over at Bass River to help the project out. You know, any tee we can build to help further along. Take trees down, do whatever we can, cart path wise to lower the cost on the course, we're gonna do that. As, you know, anything we can't control the number of the clubhouse. We're not builders, so. Whatever that is, it is. But
Yeah, I know you've
if we can lower, I
expressed,
mean, you can't. Irrigation system's $2 million, no matter however which way you do it.
I know
It
you,
costs $2 million.
you mentioned concern about the condition of things over there, and I just hate to see them get bumped out too far. And I just
No,
want
I
us
don't
to
think
think
it's, I
about
would say within the next 5 years, something's gonna happen over there. Because we'll be very close to paying off this one.
Mhm.
And that one would probably not start until we're close to that one, that's the way everything works,
Makes sense.
so.
I'm just trying to get.
We
a
have the
time
ability to
frame.
take on another debt at another time. Because we used to carry two at once anyways. And then what you've seen is we can pay back the town $200,000, we can carry debt, so we have plenty of money we can carry. But we don't wanna take 3 on at once and then have to pay all that debt at once. So do a project, like I said, this may be, we may have enough money to do the function facility without ever going in debt.
Mhm.
We may have enough money to do Tim's part of the project at Bass River, not going in debt. You're
1%, why would you reach into your pocket?
right, you also don't wanna drain
I would.
the bank account too far,
Build back better, whatever.
Yes.
so,
Whatever it is.
yeah. But, you know,
They're throwing money around and I'm like,
You know, there's no chance of getting all projects through capital at one time. It's gonna have to be.
Yeah.
Set up, okay, we have enough
yeah,
to,
no, the only reason I was asking was because I know you've expressed real concern about the conditions of the irrigation system, et cetera, at Duck River. And you know, that with wastewater kind of going another direction,
Right.
I didn't know how far out that could go.
well, it's nice to finally know on wastewater that that's just not happening. So now we can retool
Yeah,
and figure out what we need to do, and we can get Tim involved in what needs to be done. Safety wise and how to fix everything, you know, obviously the bunkers need to be redone. Most of the tee boxes need to be re-leveled, so. You know, it's more of a facelift than anything, and then the safety things and the improvement to the first hole, we're gonna try to do now. So it's things are in the works over there already, it's just the rest of the stuff is. No, Tim's work isn't a whole lot expensive, really, it's the irrigation that's gonna total it up more than anything.
I think the nice part
for
about.
those first two
Duck
holes
River
anyway.
is The other towns that have two courses, they're kind of like the same.
You know, two.
Whereas here we offer bigger course, and we offer a more walkable, smaller,
Yeah.
and yes, as well. But I think that there was. So it's good to keep it up as well.
Right, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of tackling what we can at Ducks River. And then just not tackling too much at this time. Obviously, the park paths all need to be done, so that would be part of the project.
Yeah,
And they need to be wide enough for a cart to go down. So. You know, there's a lot of things that need to be done over there, we know that. But. We gotta fix the links first, we gotta give someone where to go if we're gonna work over there, so, you know, right now we can't even go on the links, it's on the water all the time. But, yeah, believe me, if we could go over there tomorrow and start working on it, we would. But the biggest unknown, if you will, is what do we do with the clubhouse? How do we fix it? How do we get what we need over there? And how can we do it for rather affordable without driving the cost way up?
And as long as it's not gonna be like, the concern I heard is that I don't want things to start breaking to the point you can't fix it, you know, that kind of thing, so. And it seemed like they were starting to break more and more, so.
Yeah. Well, we found a huge leak by the clubhouse by default. That helped fix that one.
Mhm.
We found another huge leak, if you've been over there, there's a huge hole
Oh, I didn't see that one. Yeah.
that's poured with more concrete than I can imagine why. Maybe that was causing the leak. So we'll have to fix that, and we shored up the irrigation quite a bit.
As long as it's not one of those whack-a-mole things, you know. It's like-
No, I mean, it's 20 years old, it's gonna leak.
Yeah.
It's the way it works. Hopefully it's not leaking out of control, but it will last for another 5 years or so.
Okay.
It's not like it's gonna go completely haywire on us.
and so are you changing this year? Would you have that extra path from where people drop off the carts at Ducks River? So people can come get a cart, drive around to pick up where they drop off their,
Well, that's what we're gonna be working on tomorrow. We're looking at rerouting
excellent.
a lot of
I
stuff.
think that has been such a huge thing for people.
Yeah. Well, it's the front of the clubhouse is congested all the time.
Yes,
Even the parking space is kind of pushed down there, so well tight.
and you've got a big supply truck stuck in the front anyways.
Yeah, it's never good.
So, and what about Collins? Do we hear anything from them?
I reached out to Heather twice this week and I had no answer. So, nowhere. I was hoping Bill, when I emailed with Bill, letting him know that you guys wanted him here. He even mentioned that he was recovering and he couldn't make it, but I asked him if he's gotten any response from Collins. He hasn't either, so. I'm supposed to meet with Bill tomorrow if he's healthy enough. Hopefully he can get an answer, but I'm just kind of curious where they're in their process. 'Cause
Yeah,
They
They
came
haven't
in,
asked me for anything for months.
they came in and they did a nice sales job about doing it, so.
yeah, How much have we paid him?
No,
Oh, okay, that makes me feel better.
he sent me a bill. He sent me a bill for $8,000 and I said, Bill, I'm not paying this until I see something, so. Yeah, until I see something. Like, you expect me to pay this when I haven't seen a document that says they've done anything?
Yeah, nothing,
You know,
and not
When I
address
see the
any of
first
our issues.
deliverables, I'll pay the $8,000. Nothing until I see an actual deliverable, so. If you want $8,000, they can start doing some work, in my opinion. Now, they could be doing work and they just haven't got back to me, I don't know. I would hope I get an email that says, hey, we're here in this step, or you're gonna get something in this step, but
Okay,
no, I haven't paid them $1 yet.
all right. Anybody got anything else? Any concerns? I think going home.
Who manages, who's the webmaster for the Yarmouth website? Which will have one? The Yarmouth Town Hall website. Did you go into?
Does it?
Yeah.
Town hall website.
No idea. No idea.
We have no clue,
Okay,
because they're so far behind on things.
okay.
I don't know.
Because when you go into GDC,
Yeah.
we've got Richard as secretary. We should,
Well, that's still that way on the
Oh, I
golf
can
site.
have them updated.
Oh, our golf site is still wrong with that?
Oh, yeah. Richard is still on there and so's
yeah, so is
Bill
Frank,
West and
Frank.
Frank and Doreen and Dick aren't, you know.
and Bill West is still on there.
He's
Yeah,
not, is he still with us?
yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's-
Okay,
You know,
so
but he's still on the website.
yeah,
which one, not,
I just asked Anita to take him off the.
If you go to the
distribution.
Golf Yarmouth website, he's still on that.
let's see,
Yeah, he was on the distribution list for the.
all right, so just thinking maybe we should update that.
Yeah, noted.
I can do it.
Kind of look
We can
good,
reach
right?
out.
I look good.
We had a concern. That's a good thing.
Fill that box.
Right.
See, Doreen is
Doreen.
not on there, and who else? Dick Donovan, anybody else?
Are you good with
No,
it?
I think that-
Uh,
Yeah, okay.
that's it, I'm on there.
In our, in the Golf Yarmouth.
So this will go
I
away.
just have to swap out.
You're on the Golf Yarmouth
And
website?
this will.
Okay, so I'll make that up.
To be clear,
you're in town.
I'm talking about the Golf Yarmouth website,
Oh,
because it says,
no difference.
there's a drop down
We
also
take these
under
numbers and then put
the
here.
membership to the
There's no-
GDC, and it lists all of you.
In case someone questions.
There's a couple of places where you can get to the one on the town website. Until the last time I looked, it was really old.
No, I can.
Yeah, It's easy though, you go into
This
Yeah.
is not done.
Committees.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
All right, so it is
37.
6:37. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
You got concerns? No one
we
has
have to have a
concerns?
roll call to adjourn.
Do it.
Ted,
Yes.
Aye.
Jane, Doreen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, all right. And the next meeting is gonna be on the 6th.
March 6th at 5 PM.
Unless you guys, you still wanted it at 5 PM, is that good for you guys?
Yes.
Cool. Done.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, Aaron.
Enjoy the summer.
bye.
Enjoy the summer down south.
Okay. See you guys next time.
Yeah, 5.